This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joyton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Meg Nesbitt from Child and Family Services of Alpena. Hi, Meg.
Good morning, Nancy.
Now, when you walked in the door, you were just bubbling, enthusiastic. You have so much news that you want to share about the wonderful world of foster care. So start us out.
All right. So since the last time I was here, I want to tell you that just in the last 30 days, we have had, the state has opened 5 new foster care homes for us. They're licensed in Alpena, Alpena, Presqu'Isle, and Iosco County. So we're just thrilled.
Oh, good for you, Meg.
Yeah, we can take more placements of children. So.
And people, probably don't think that foster care is that important. We hear about it, but it's so important. We have children who need, for one reason or another, to be moved into foster care for a while until things at home straighten out. And
that's right.
And
that's
hopefully they
it.
do get straightened out. That's always our goal, to get them back with their families.
So it is, yep. We want to get them back home, and for a variety of reasons, circumstances, through no fault of their own. Children aren't safe in their home. They need to be put in a foster home until hopefully we can remove the barriers that keep them from home and get those kids back home. And in the meantime, we need safe and secure, loving homes for these foster kids.
And we do, and we want people to know that Child and Family Services holds your hands through the whole entire application and licensing process. So please don't say no to becoming a foster family because you think, oh, it's too much paperwork, I can't do it.
No, there is paperwork. There is. We need to know where our kids are going. That's right. We need to know where our kids are going. We start out with an orientation, which is like 2 hours of training to start off, so you're making informed decisions, and I will walk you right through all the paperwork and help you get through it. We have 6 months to complete that process, but I really try to get it done in 3 or 4 months to get you on the road. Then there's another big training, 12 hours of training that we call Pride Training, that helps you be prepared for that placement of foster children. And then we have ongoing training. In fact, we have one coming up this week for parents called Red, White, and Bruises, How to Discipline Children Without Using Any Violence. And so we are an agency that we don't ever go away. Once you're on our team, you are on the team, and there's always team support for you.
And that's the wonderful thing. There's the ongoing training, the ongoing support. If there's an issue or a problem, there's always somewhere to help you through it. You're never alone.
Absolutely.
And you're providing a safe and nurturing home for a young person in your community.
That's right, absolutely. You're providing that care to help them. And there's always what we call concurrent planning. The first is reunification, getting the kids home. We work with the birth family to get that happening. If it doesn't, then the second part of that permanency is adoption, in case we can't get the kids home. And we also provide that at Child and Family Services. We walk you right through that adoption process.
And speaking about counties, in Montmorency County, we have a particular need for foster families.
We do. There are, in every county, there are not enough. But particularly in Montmorency, there just aren't enough foster homes. And so we are going to be going in and doing presentations and working to try and build that up. We really need foster homes in Montmorency County. The other thing that we would really appreciate is a board member from Montmorency County. So we would like to, if you feel like you can support Child and Family Services in a board member capacity, and you're from Montmorency County, please call us.
Yes, and you just attend meetings and you have a great input on what goes on with child welfare in your community.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there is training for board members as well.
Yes.
So if you have that interest, we would really appreciate it.
And Meg, too, we want to let families know that the licensing part's very, very important.
It is.
And if there's a reason why you think you couldn't become licensed, call you or look on your website. What's the best way to reach you?
You can call me, 356-4567, and I'm extension 223. You can go to our website, cfsnemi.org, and we also have a Facebook page now as well, so you can get a lot of information that way.
And then you can, before you even would start the application process? You know, you could call you, meet with you.
Absolutely. I'll come out to your home. I do a 2-hour orientation to answer all those upfront questions to find out, is this right for you?
So if you're in Alpena, Alcona, Montmorency, or Presque Isle, and you think, hey, I've always wanted to be a foster family, you know, I have the rooms at home, you know, I know that I'm a good mentor for children, I know that I could help and keep children safe, you know, why not give a call and just explore the opportunity?
Absolutely. We're always available to talk with you about what it takes to be a foster parent. And really what it takes is opening your heart and opening your home and providing a safe and stable environment for our community children.
And I love your brochure because it says things, raise hope and foster dreams.
That's right.
You know, foster care, love, plain and simple.
That's right.
And then fostering hope, a call to care. You know, all these true things about foster care.
The most important thing to remember is children are in foster care through no fault of their own. They have had some really tough experiences, and our job as a community is to surround them with love and care and support to help them have this really bright future.
Okay. And how do you get all the referrals for foster care? Does that come through the court system?
It comes from both the court system for our treatment foster care, and that's for children who have become involved in juvenile justice.
Okay.
We are getting them out of residential places and into foster homes through our treatment foster care program. Then DHS as well refers to us as they have come in. CPS, Child Protective Services, we often get calls from Child Protective Services, especially for emergency or respite care. Now, here I want to mention this. You can be licensed to do what's called respite care, which is less than 2 weeks. Generally speaking, for emergency care, for, let's say, a foster family has a medical emergency and needs some respite care, so we can place a child in one of our respite homes for a couple weeks while the foster family gets back together. Or, for example, if a foster family is going to Disney World, but the birth family says, no, I don't want my child to leave the state, so then we need respite care for that child as well.
And then the emergency care?
Okay, so let's say a Child Protective Service officer goes to a home and it's something critical. That child is in imminent danger. They need placement right now. They get a court order to remove that child immediately.
Okay.
And so then we need a placement immediately, and it could be, you know, daytime, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, that we need an emergency placement.
Okay.
And so you can be licensed just to do that.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. All right, and once again, a team approach. You're never alone as a foster family.
Absolutely.
Ongoing training, fun activities that you plan for foster families.
We do. We're doing a Mom's Day Out coming up for our local foster families with our agency and the DHS foster families out at the Boys and Girls Club, and they're going to get pampered all morning with massage and reflexology and hair care and a nice lunch, and it'll be a great fun day for our foster moms.
Okay, Meg, thank you for being here. And one more time, tell us how to get in touch with you.
You can call me at 356-4567. That's the main line for Child and Family Services. You can go to our webpage, cfsnemi.org, or find us on Facebook.
Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you and everyone at Child and Family Services for all the wonderful things that you do to ensure great foster care in our communities.
Thanks, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Stephanie Gandula from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Nancy.
I'm so glad to have you here, and I know that you're reeling in the success of your wonderful film festival.
Yes, it was such a blast this year, the 3rd annual. Already making plans for the next one, and we had over 600 people come to the festival, and it was really neat to hear from all the folks that came. I mean, we had folks coming from the west side of the state, from Sutton's Harbor, Traverse City area, and that was really the goal of the film festival. I mean, to make it something really enjoyable and educational for the community, but then also something that people want to travel to Alpena to participate in.
And to have 9 filmmakers in Alpena?
That's right. We had 9 filmmakers come from all outside of Alpena area, but they were, about half of them were from Michigan. We had 2 from the Traverse City side come over and present their film. That was on Friday night. We had filmmakers from Georgia. We had filmmakers from California. And I really enjoyed interacting with those filmmakers. We have, we liaison with them to make sure they enjoy the community and they're able to get where they need to go. And then hearing their feedback from their experience here in Alpena, all very positive. Of course, they love the festival and the sanctuary, but they loved the restaurants and the hotels and going out and just being a part of the whole thing.
And they were here in the winter.
They were, and that's what people said. Who's going to come here in January? But I love wintertime here in Alpena, and people love to come and see our beautiful area and experience this festival.
And speaking about busy things, Lady Michigan's getting ready to head out again.
That's right. Alpena Shipwreck Tours will be starting up the season first part of May, actually the very first week in May. We've already got classroom cruises booked. And the Heritage Center, our headquarters there, we're getting ramped up for another busy season. I don't know if you heard, but we had nearly 100,000 visitors go through the doors last year.
I used to think 80,000 was a lot when you had 80 before. Holy moly.
So we're got to gear up for all those visitors again, get ready for the tourist season, and all the travelers coming in to see Shipwreck Alley and all the other stuff Alpena has to offer. So lots of volunteer opportunities coming up. We're going to be training folks. We'll have some good interactive training opportunities for volunteers who are interested in going out on the glass bottom boat to help interpret the shipwrecks, or volunteering in the exhibits to, we have a cart there with artifacts, and so folks can come in and interact with an official sanctuary volunteer. And of course the ROV competition. We need volunteers for that big time. We have usually a couple hundred volunteers for that we could not run that competition without.
And when will that be coming up?
That is May 16th this year.
Okay, wow, that's coming quickly.
Oh my, I know.
And it's not an international one this year.
It's not international.
As nice as that was.
That was amazing.
It was.
We've been saying that too. Kind of a little bit of a relief that we're not in the midst of planning for that. That's going to be in Canada this year.
Okay.
But the regional, we still get upwards of 35 teams for the regional competition. And so we're preparing for that. The mission this year, they always tailor the mission to something real world and timely in our in the marine technology world. And so the mission this year is science under the ice. And so the students will be designing their robots to work under simulated ice. So that's going to be neat to see how we do the props and everything.
That is going to be neat to see how you do the props
and
everything.
I'm interested to see how we figured this out.
Well, and thinking about the ROV thing, in today's Alpena News, front page about Mr. Thompson's class, how they won $10,000 for coming up with an innovative way. They're going to be planning fish, and they're going to be using a remote-controlled vehicle that they're building to do that. That happens to be my granddaughter's class.
Really?
But isn't that amazing what can be done? And for your class to win of all the competition, the $10,000
around the country.
Yeah, money.
I know.
To do that.
Yeah, that was super cool. And I actually just yesterday was working, or at the end of the week was working with Mr. Thompson's class, and they are so much fun. They come to the sanctuary and work in the maker's space, we call it, where all the robot building activity is, and just talking about their upcoming expeditions. And those fifth graders, they're so impressive.
Oh, they are. And, their minds are like sponges. I mean,
really
think of the opportunities they have to learn and soak up and give back to the community at a later date.
That's right. And they're so enthusiastic about it, too. I always love going to work with those students.
Okay, what else is happening?
What else? Well, we do have, speaking of volunteers, we do have the Sanctuary Advisory Council.
Okay.
And that is a volunteer council.
Okay.
And there's 20 seats on that council. Now, we've just recently, because of expansion, reformatted that council to, of course, incorporate and include the 2 counties that are now in the expanded area. So there'll be county seats and citizen seats from Presque Isle County and Alcona County. And, of course, all the Alpena County seats as well. So the deadline for applying for to be a council member is March 31st.
Okay.
And so we're obviously still looking for folks to apply to that. We've gotten lots of applications already, but it's a really neat opportunity, and it's not. I mean, we've had lots of professionals on the council, and that's really cool. And they represent all different aspects of the community, so we get that input for management decisions. And we only meet, I believe it's 6 times a year. We have our meeting where we update, but those members are still very involved in the operation of the sanctuary. So a lot of them volunteer for other events. But I do think it's just a great opportunity to just be even more involved in sanctuary operations.
It is, and so if you're interested, if you want to know more about it, you can call you, or is it on the website too? Or
it's on the website.
Okay.
It's on. We'll have more Facebook posts about
Okay.
it. Jean Bauer is the coordinator of
Okay.
the SAC Council, the Sanctuary Advisory Council.
Okay.
We call it the SAC. And so you contact her directly, and she can get you the whole application packet and answer any questions. She's at Extension 13 at the
Okay.
sanctuary, Lucky 13.
yes, and what a wonderful opportunity to be involved in all these wonderful things that
Right.
happen, on the ground level. It's so exciting.
I think so too. And these meetings where we have the council members all get together are lots of fun too, because we have the opportunity to give them a really thorough update of what's been going on at the sanctuary on the research side, on the education side,
Yes.
the community involvement side. So I think it's a great opportunity. So we'd love to see more folks applying to be a Sanctuary Advisory Council member.
Okay, and we need lots of other volunteers too, and
Yes.
training is going to be coming up, and it's
Right.
real comprehensive training, so you feel real comfortable with what you're doing. But what about a chance to go out on the Lady Michigan all
Right.
summer long? Gee, it doesn't
That's-
get much better than that.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's one of the best volunteer opportunities. You're out in the sunshine.
Yeah.
You're interacting with people that are out there having a good time, learning about the shipwrecks and learning about the natural resources that
Yes.
are out there. We have upwards of like 2 to 5 volunteers on every cruise.
Okay.
And so one person's leading the cruise, narrating, with the microphone. Other folks are ambassadors, if you will,
Okay.
going around talking to people, finding out where they're from, answering individual questions, and then we're really increasing our multimedia on the boat. And so there's iPads where you can show historical images. Like we're going over the William P. Wren now. There's the shipwreck. Here's what it looked like in 1892.
Amazing.
So lots of fun.
Okay, one more time. How do we get in touch with you?
So 989-356-8805.
Okay.
Volunteer opportunities straight to me at Extension 38.
Okay.
Always go to our website at thunderbay.noaa, NOAA.gov, for updates, opportunities, and then Facebook is super active. Go to Facebook, which our Facebook page is Thunder Bay Shipwrecks.
Okay.
And lots of posts there. You can download applications, and the SAC application even, and the volunteer application straight from the Facebook page. And
Very good.
also see lots of cool pictures of the stuff going on.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here. I look forward to talking to you next month.
Thanks, Nancy.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joynton, president of Alpena Community College. My guest this morning, ACC student Steve Hill. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you.
And it's I appreciate your coming out today. Now, a little bit about your background, and then leading up to your entry into ACC. Where'd you grow up and go to school?
Well, I grew up downstate, St. Clair Shores. I went to, South Lake High School, and I was there, and I lived downstate for most of the time.
And then you told me before the interview that you had a career there as a facilities technician for a school system.
Yeah, I worked for the school district of Ferndale for 19 years.
Very good.
I was down there. I was in maintenance and
Doing work on boilers, electrical, plumbing, all
yeah,
those
boilers. I went to school for boilers. They had me go to and stuff like that. So yes, I ended up in boilers.
So there's some theory there, but there's also a lot of hands-on work too, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Is that the kind of thing that you enjoy?
Oh yeah. I'm not a person just to sit, and I like getting involved in things.
Good. And how did you end up coming up to up north, as we say, to Alpena?
Well, my family eventually moved up here, and my mom was living up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after being here for a little while, you made that big decision to be an ACC student. And tell me a little bit about how that goes for a person who's not 18 years old, fresh out of high school.
Well, at first it was jittery, and it was a little jittery, and it took some patience, but
okay.
I went in there by myself. I did not, go, and I just did it, and the people there are so welcoming.
So you manned up and didn't find it to be as scary as you thought it might be.
Oh, no, it's enjoyable.
That's good. I hear that so often from mature students. We call them non-traditional students who often have had one career and now they're interested in something else. or just trying to improve their mind one way or another. What words would you have for people out there in the audience who might be not exactly right out of high school, a little bit older, for coming to ACC?
Well, with my experience, I think, yeah, it's a lifesaver for me. It gave me something to do when I was down and out, and it lifts your spirits up, and oh God, the people there, everybody is so welcoming.
Good. You know? Speaking of people at ACC, that's what we try to do. Are there any particular ones that have helped, that really stand out for helping you?
Oh yeah, Lori Wade is my advisor over at the art building, and she really did. I told them I was going to be doing this, so she was really excited.
She's outstanding, and you know, hear great things about her from many students. So I'm glad to hear you've had the same experience. So after concentrating on art courses for some time now, there's a new field of interest for you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of this summer going to marine biology classes.
And the ROV program.
Yes.
Right. We have talked a little bit about the introductory courses for that program, which are scheduled for the summer.
Yeah.
There's an archaeology and marine history one, and also one on Great Lakes issues, which will get into probably environmental and economic issues. What is it about the marine tech field that arouses your interest?
Well, like I said, I grew up in St. Clair Shores, in one of the big boating cities, and I'm always love for boating.
Right.
You know, and out there, and he says, well, you got to learn how to really work on a ship and stuff like that, so that's exciting.
Lots of the jobs are either on a ship or on a platform, for example, down in the Gulf Coast with the oil industry. So you've got a love of water, and I bet you the hands-on part of it also would be appealing to you.
Oh, yes.
You're not just reading out of a book. You're actually doing stuff.
Yes. And that's really, he told me a little bit about it, and it sounds fantastic.
Well, it's a wonderful program, and for those in the audience, again, who might be contemplating the next career or next field of enterprise for themselves, the remotely operated vehicle program focuses on, you could call them underwater robots or submersible robots, and they're able to get in to the depths that would be either very difficult or impossible for a diver to endure, and perform work for industry, for research organizations that in a better way than a human being could.
Yeah.
So what I understand from the program is that your study is how to operate them, but also how to maintain them, how to design them, how to build them, repair them, and so on.
Yeah.
Very good. Any other comments on the Marine Tech program? Anything you remember from your conversation with Mr. Cummins?
Well, like you said, there was a lot of hands-on and enjoyable. You get to see the bow. You get to, you know, really see how it is to run a ship, you know, and how to, you know, like I said, explore the bottom of the ocean and stuff.
Well, and then some of the instruction involves, you mentioned boating and getting out on the water. You've got to get out on the water in the boats that go into Thunder Bay and practice operating the ROVs, as well as doing that in tanks. One of the great things about that program, too, is the collaboration partnership we have with the Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. And some of the classes are held there, some of the facilities, the boats that they have there. Some of the staff members there work with us to educate the students in what's necessary to find a career in that field.
Yes, I've been there a couple times. I love that museum.
It's a fantastic place, and the people there are so energetic and smart and tuned in with what's going on many aspects of maritime culture, research, history, environmental protection, The tourist attraction element, it draws nearly 100,000 visitors a year to Alpena, which is great for our town. So to be tied in with a group of people like that is a real privilege. I always like to put in a good word for them. Well, as we wrap it up, Steve, I really appreciate your interest in bettering yourself at ACC and the experience you've had with the art program, the way it looks like you're going into Marine Tech, and also thank you in particular for being my guest this morning.
You're welcome.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joyton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at www.wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.